Fire. Yeah, it's a fireplace. Thank you very much, the university leadership, the student leadership. It's an honor for my wife and I to be here. My name is Stephen Langa, and I'm privileged to be here with my dear wife, Beatrice. I'll just ask Beatrice to just say a little bit about ourselves, and then we'll take it from there.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I recognize all of you in your capacities. My name is Beatrice, as you heard, and I have been married to Stephen for the last 40 years. And thank you. Thank you. And we have 2 adult offspring. I dare not call them children. They went through Makerere. One of them was in Mitchell. I had quite a bit of... Okay, and the other one was in Mary Stewart. And unfortunately, neither of us were in Makerere. Stephen was in Nairobi University, and I was in Boston University. But we've done a lot of... Thank you. But we've been in Makerere for a long time, especially over the last maybe 5, 6, 8 years or so. Maybe some of you have heard of the BANG program. We are behind that. But anyway, for this evening, it's a real pleasure to be with you. And I pray that it will be a time of learning, relearning, unlearning, not necessarily in that order. But yes, we are grateful to be with you this evening.
Yes, my background, I trained as an electrical engineer at Nairobi University, and I worked in industry there for a number of years. By the time I was 30 years old, I was the first black chief engineer in an international corporation that had branches around the world. And I was supervising people who are my father's age, and I saw success in the corporate world. And that's part of the reason why when I get an opportunity, or when we get an opportunity like this to talk to young people, we take it, because we've been where you are, and we've been beyond where you have been, and we know how you can get from where you are to where you were created to be. Having said that, after working in industry for a number of years, then we came back home to Uganda. And for the first 10 years, I was a businessman. I started 2 businesses here. And then my career changed around 2002. That's when we started Family Life Network. Family Life Network is an organization that is working to help bring restoration to families and morality. And so we are privileged to provide leadership to that organization. Some people say that now I'm a social engineer, and maybe that's what it is. But you know, I've found a lot of similarity between engineering and the work that I'm doing now. Because you see, in engineering, there's no gambling. You can't just gamble. You need to know the principle of what you're dealing with. And you must obey that principle if the system or whatever it is that you're doing has to work. Engineers who know aerodynamics will make or design a plane that is 400 tons heavy, and it will fly over the Atlantic, to not drop down, because they obeyed the principle. And so that's how engineering is. You don't just wake up, I think let's extend the wing by this, or let's extend the other. you burn things, you kill people, and all that. So you need to know. So similarly, in what we are going to be talking about today, and the work that I'm doing now, I found out that there are similarities because there are principles also that run the things we are going to be talking about here today. And if you follow those principles, if you are keen enough, then it will work. And so we are grateful to be here with my wife, 40 years on. We still love each other. We still date each other. Yes. Yeah, it didn't end when we said I do. No, it didn't end there. It has continued. And actually, last year, when we celebrated our 40th anniversary, our married group where we reside sponsored us on a 9-day honeymoon holiday in Bangkok. Yes, Bangkok, fully paid, everything paid. Yeah. So we're there, you know, yes. Yeah, honestly, enjoying ourselves. Yes, after 40 years. And, you know, it's really interesting because there was a time, when it was 25 years. 25 years, what I did that time is I took my wife all the way to Kasese. There's a hotel there, Mountains of the Moon. Yes, Makerere, yeah. So I took my wife there for 3 days, you know, just to enjoy, you know, our time together. Yes, and it's okay, you know. It's very okay. And you know, whenever I go for such a situation, I go to the reception and I'm going, you know, and I'm talking very loudly, you know, and I'm telling them, yeah, we are here for, and I tell them, look at my wife. And I tell them, this lady has cooked. This lady has cooked. So she deserves a room which deserves her honor. I don't want just any room. I want a room which deserves her honor. Clap for her. Yeah. So we were given the room. Another time, place where I said that, I said, I was going to give you another room, but after you said that, I'm giving you a different room. Anyway, the following morning, when we went to have breakfast, as we drove in, we saw there was a wedding reception taking place. So, the following morning, when we were at the breakfast, we saw a couple, and you know, a lady, when they've done that hair, even the following morning, some of that hairdo is still there. The couple that we saw that was having the reception yesterday, so let's go for that. No, let's leave them. Then anyway, we went. I said, but you know, good morning. Yeah, might you be the couple that had the reception? I said, yeah, we are the couple. They said, oh, congratulations. I told them first, we are here celebrating 25 years. So all that lets you know that actually when you follow the principles, it actually works. And that's what we are going to be talking about briefly here. Good. All right. Now, relationships. And we were given some hints of challenges. I want to say that today, your generation, honestly, there are so many odds against your generation. So many odds. And that's why, for me, any opportunity I get like this to talk to you, wonderful people, we do it. Because of the work that I do, I have a lot of statistics. I know what's happening in families. I know what's happening in marriages. I know what's happening to young men. I know what's happening to young ladies. I know it. And the picture is not good. Beatrice and I were in UCU end of last year. And it was a similar group to us talk about relationships. And one lady, third year, she said, Hannah, maybe tell me, what did she say? Yeah.
This lady told us that her father had abandoned the family when she was still in secondary school, I believe. So she got involved in supporting the family along with her mother and educating her younger siblings. And she had done it from very early on. And now she was in university. She was, I think at the end, that was her final year. And she said, I am so used to taking care of my needs and the needs of my siblings and supporting a family, and I have become independent. I don't think I want to get married, because then you're going to have to answer to somebody, and you have to live with somebody else and be. I am independent. I know what I'm doing. I know how to fend for myself. I don't need that burden.
And then she said that the day before, somebody had put her in a group of people who fear marriage. Can you imagine? Yeah, that was the name of the group. People who fear marriage. Yes. And then shortly after that, a young man also said that, marriage, I don't know, because I'll make my money, I build my houses, then I marry someone, and when we divorce, I have to give half of my property away. So marriage, I don't know. So those are the issues that your generation is dealing with. But what I want to say is this, that still, even then in your own generation, once you follow the right principles, things can work out for you. And I've got many stories. Many. People who are happily married, including one who just, was that 2 weeks ago? Yes, 2 weeks ago. She was electrical engineer here. Actually, we met her slightly before she was there. But she was part of Loombox. She was here. And she decided to start channeling her life through that kind of, the right philosophy. I'm glad to report she got married 2 weeks ago. Happily married. They are now, they're overseas and so on. So it is possible even in your situation. All right, now, what I'm going to do, we will share a few things just to generate conversation and discussion. But then we will wait and get more of your questions, and we shall try and answer them. Now, here's the issue. There is a principle in marriage or in relationships that you will always attract the kind of person that you are. Okay? Let me say that again, because it is very, very important. You will always attract the kind of person that you are. And that's what they say, birds of the same feathers flock together. And others, the Americans say, a crab catches a crab. Meaning that if you're a young lady and all you are is just this pretty face, and there's no quality inside, there's nothing beyond this pretty face, then you will only attract men who are just as empty, who will only want to come, use you, and dump you there. Similarly for men, if you're a man and all you are is just this physique, there's no quality inside there, then similarly you too will just attract women who just want to come detruth you and that's it. So, as one is looking for the other one, okay, you're looking for Mr. Right, you're looking for Miss Right, 3 fingers are pointing back at you. So the bigger question really is, where is Mr. Right or where is Mr. No, the bigger question is, are you Mr. Right? Are you Miss Right? And I want to say that the principle, therefore, of preparing for a relationship is for you to make sure that you are Mr. Right and you are Miss Right. So forget, I don't know this, I'm looking for this kind of, before you look for any kind, first start here. And wonderful people, I want to say this. One of the dangers and one of the problems that people are facing, your generation is facing problems, is because people don't prepare. Okay? People don't prepare. If you take me now to Entebbe and you put me behind a cockpit, I tell you, okay, take us to London. You know where I'm going to take you? To the lake. I'm going to take you. Yes, honestly, yeah. Because I've not been prepared. I've not, I don't know a thing about, But, you see? So, in relation, you need to prepare first. You need to prepare first. And on top of preparing first, you also need to lay your relationship and your life on the right foundation. Okay? I want to ask my wife to just share with you how important foundation on which you are building anything or your life or relationship is. Maybe.
Our chief guest, it's electro season, eh? Oh. So the air is very vibrant. Everyone is chanting someone's name.
So back to foundation. I had an encounter with in a certain gathering with a gentleman who said he was a builder and that he came from a family of builders. His father was also a builder, and so was his grandfather. So he began to tell us a story about what they do when they're going to erect a building. He said, after closing off the area, you will just see many truckloads bringing in materials. Sand, cement, stones, those things that are used for building. And you will hear a lot of noise, a lot of commotion, but for a while you see nothing. You don't see the building coming up. Truckloads are delivering and you're wondering where all those materials are going. And he said the reason for that is because we are working on the foundation. He said when we are building a foundation, particularly when we are building a high-rise building, we pay a lot of attention to the quality of the foundation that we are laying. Because after the foundation is done, when it is done right, the rest happens very, very quickly. And he said, once the foundation is laid and the building comes up and it is finished and it is inhabited, depending on the foundation, the way the foundation was done, you will begin to see cracks. He said those vertical cracks can be hidden behind, a little bit of plastering and a bit of paint, and it will disappear. And he says, well, that one may disappear, but another one will come up. He says you cannot just get rid of those cracks because they are coming from the foundation. He said the best way to fix that is to bring the whole building down, fix the foundation, and start again. And hearing that, imagine a 20-story building that has vertical cracks coming, and you bring it all down. That is a very expensive undertaking. He said, so the best way is to spend the time, the effort, the money, the expertise to make sure that the foundation is right, that the foundation is done well. And then after that, the building you erect on that foundation will be good.
So that's why, ladies and gentlemen, we really want to start on the foundation. And we're going to share a few things about that foundation, depending on what the little time that we have will give us. So those are things that you need to watch out before you start a relationship. Otherwise, you start on a wrong foundation, we know what's going on. And when we see around, those are the things we see, you know. And people, how can you, we'll give you a talk in Gulu. How can you be the same one for 40 years? We don't, to somebody, it can't be registered in their mind. How? Foundation. Okay, so let's write down some of the foundational things. Number one, have a very vibrant relationship with your maker. Number one. In other words, service your spiritual life. Many people ignore it. Okay, tell me something else. Because that's the compass. You need a compass. Try to take a plane in the air without a compass or with a faulty compass. Try to take a ship with a faulty compass. And it is not my time and place to talk about that. You are responsible people. You know what to do. You know where you can get that information if you need it. You can research and so on. So that one, I won't spend any more time on it. 2, build your VMCs. What are VMCs? Build your values. Build your morals. Build your character. VMCs. What keeps a relationship is not the beauty, it's not the handsomeness, it's not the money. You can have the money on earth, you can be Miss Universe, or if there's even a big, or Miss, what is it? Miss Solar System. Yes, oh no, sorry, yeah, universe is bigger. Yeah, you may be whatever. Those things cannot keep a relationship. Those things cannot keep a marriage. You may be the wealthiest person. Otherwise, and he would be married, he would still be in his marriage, this very rich man. Bill Gates would still be, yeah. But imagine he has all the money on earth, but the marriage is gone. So if it was money, so what keeps a marriage? What keeps a relationship? Takes you mileage? Are those values? Are those characters? VMCs. Those are the things that give you mileage, not sex. Research has been done, and sex cannot sustain a relationship, cannot sustain a marriage. I remember many years ago, at Cobhams, yeah. Because as my wife said, we have been here, and yes, I know people like him, yeah. Yeah, so I was at Cobhams, and we gave a talk. I was telling them about this, and somebody said a question. He said, because he thought a way to determine which wife to get is sleep with this one, sleep with the other one, sleep with the other, and then compare and say, I think now let me marry this one. Can you imagine? I had it at Cobhams here. I told the young man that is the wrongest thing, because sex alone is not the thing that will make you find a good wife. Yeah, you know. And by the way, although we are not talking about sex, but you need to know this for those who are trying to check and test from the sexual side. Here's the issue. Any man, any woman, under the right conditions, can be a great sex partner. Okay? Any man, any woman, under the right condition, mark those words, can be. So that is already, that's not, they need to do other due diligence. And yeah. Number 3. Number 3, so build your VMCs. Yes, again there you find how do you build, find a way how to actually do that. Then the other thing is learn how to get along with people of the opposite sex without any strings attached. Hannah, help us with this one.
Most of us think that in order to, find about people of the opposite sex, we need to be in a relationship, a romantic relationship. But the minute the relationship is pronounced to be romantic, we tend to be on our best behavior. We look right, we dress right, we talk right. But you can have a friendship relationship with somebody where your guards are down, you can talk about anything, you can do things together, you can mix and mingle and just have clean fun without any, romantic innuendos, where you can just be good friends. She is your good friend, he is your good friend, but there's no romantic involvement whatsoever. And in that atmosphere, our guards are down. We get to know each other. You find out what makes people angry. You find out when they're in a good mood. You see them and you just know, and you can say anything, do anything, and just be yourselves. And you see, that in itself gives you an education. Then you can see, ladies tend to be a certain way when in these circumstances. And gentlemen also tend to be a certain way in these circumstances. No strings attached. You can see each other. You can even say, I don't like. And somebody will say, but you ladies, yeah, for us ladies, we do this, or we don't do this. Or for us men, we do this. Without any, but when you're romantically involved, you're trying to impress. You start out wearing a mask, and you meet each other when you smell right, you look right, you say the right things. And that takes a little more time to find out who a person really is.
So that is very healthy, and it's good. Then the next thing is you need to learn communication. Communication, because you are going to need communication in a relationship, in a marriage event. You need to communicate. And it is said that what blood is to a body is what communication is to a relationship and to a marriage. Okay? When you have no communication, then that relationship is dead. So, communication is a skill that you learn. Good communication is a skill that you learn. So, as a way of preparing yourself, begin to learn to be a good communicator. Begin to learn to be a good communicator. And communication has three angles. The first is the verbal. And experts say that the verbal side of communication only takes accounts for 7% of the communication. The tone accounts for 38%. Yeah, tone of voice, 38%. And then the body language, 55%. So, meaning that it's really, really important for you to learn, especially for us men, we need to learn how to communicate. Because we can be saying something when our body language is actually saying something else. Yeah, okay? You are telling the person you love them, but everything else is saying you don't love them. So what will she believe? That you don't love her. Because you thought it's just the verbal. The tone is wrong, the body language is wrong. So that's a skill again you also need to learn to have. Then the next thing that you need to learn self-control and how to guard yourself and how to handle your this is a flash when you get yes, okay. Yes, infatuation, yeah. Yes, when you see somebody and you really get attracted to them. A crush, yeah, that's what I say, yeah. Yes. Yeah, crush. You have a crush on someone. Now, a crush can happen anytime. Now, a crush does not mean love. So, any help us, you need to learn to...
You need to learn to control yourself because, like Steve has said, yeah, you can have a crush on somebody. You just see this guy or this girl, and usually it's visual, and you're thinking, man, if I could just have that guy, if I could just have that girl. And it's all just chemistry, really. You don't know who they are, you might not even know their name, but you just feel like, man, love at first sight. And you think, let me pursue this, I'm in love. But give it another 5, 10, 14 days, you'll think, okay, yeah, he's okay. But what was all the fuss about, After a while, you begin to realize, yeah, they're okay, but they're not the hottest thing. Yeah, and the same, the guys also will say, yeah, she's good looking, but she's okay, But the other 2 weeks ago, you thought, oh, if I could just, And those things happen all the time. And it's normal. But the thing is, when it happens, then what? Do you start, trailing them? Do you start flaunting yourself at them, throwing yourself? No. Control yourself. Take a deep breath and tell yourself, Jakuba bulungi, Yeah. Take a deep breath and watch, Watch. Because crushes happen to everybody. But can you imagine if everybody chased everybody that they had a crush on? We would all be running like animals. So we need to learn to be self-controlled. We need to learn to do some self-talk and tell yourself to calm down, take a few deep breaths, walk to the main hall, or jog there if you must, and settle down, calm down.
Yes, and that's a skill you need for all your life. Because even when you're married, it doesn't mean that if you're a man, it doesn't mean that all the women become ugly. No, they're still pretty, they're still appealing. But you see, when you've had learnt how to control yourself and how to handle crashes, then no big deal. You just know how to handle it because you have that skill now. And so it's a skill you need to develop. Otherwise, you're going to have problems in relating. You're going to have problems in marriage. I remember a young person asked me, because, we've been to many talks, but after you have been married for 2 years and you see a very beautiful woman, what are you going to do? Can you imagine? Yeah? So it means that after then you just want to, no. Self-control. Self-control will take care of that. And that's why these are things you need to develop before you ever start a relationship. The other thing you need to do, and we recommend this very, very, very highly, is to deal with your baggage from the past. Honey, help us here, because
we all have baggage, no matter who we are or where we come from. It's just the degree or the extent of our baggage. We all have pain. We have disappointments, deep, deep things that sometimes we don't even know we have, because since they weigh so heavily, since they're so big, they tend to go into our subconscious and they hide there. And sometimes we're not even aware that they're there. But the symptoms of their presence show up. Maybe we have anger outbursts. Maybe we coil up and withdraw. Maybe you have a tendency to always be moody and depressed and things always get to you so quickly. Maybe sometimes that's just a sneak peek into the painful things. A lot of them happen when we are growing up, maybe by our parents in their attempt to express love or to discipline us. They do and say things, or don't do or don't say things which affect us. And as we grow, these things also grow with us. And a time comes when they actually explode or begin to seep out, to leak out. And nothing brings those things out better than a marriage relationship. There is something about the normal happening in a marriage relationship when suddenly you're living with somebody, you wake up and they're next to you, you go to the bathroom and they brush next to you, you eat and they're there, you leave the house together, you know this person is around you, they can rub you the wrong way, you know? And then the baggage begins to spill. Then you snap, then you yell, then you get moody. That is often baggage. So we need to get to that place where we acknowledge, why do I get angry so easily? Why do things that happen around me make me want to withdraw? And then I don't want to talk to my friends for a whole week. They call and I ignore their calls. They're doing social things and I don't want to be there. Why? So you go backwards into your life and you come face to face. And those things are very painful, by the way. It's a whole process of dealing with your baggage. But there's help around. So deal with your baggage now. Because if you don't deal with it this side of the relationship, baggage can ruin relationships. In fact, a lot of relationships are ruined because of baggage. The normal stresses of marriage, which all married people deal with, or relationships, are exacerbated. They are made to look so big because of our baggage. So we would do ourselves well to figure out what our baggage is and to address it well before we begin relationships, because they are relationship destroyers.
And the next thing is accept yourself. Accept yourself. Accept who you are. Very, 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 very important. Because many people don't accept themselves, or they don't like themselves. So because of that, they put a pretend version of them. That's what they put up front. Because they don't like the real person. But you know what, guys? Reach a point where accept who you are. Why is that important? It is important because intimacy is only possible between a real person and another real person. But when the one part is real and the other one is pretending, or a pretending version of them is what is that? There can never be real intimate, genuine intimacy. It will not happen because the other one is not real. Yes, he's building a wall. You have a wall. So people are not really seeing the real you. The other person is not seeing the real you. They're dealing with a fake person. And I tell you, that is the biggest destroyer for relationship. In fact, you can't go far. So that's why remove your mask. This is who I am. This is my tribe. This is my complexion. This is, whatever it is, accept who you are. I remember we were teaching this somewhere. And that the people are so liberated when one lady stood up and said, you know, I'm short and I've been just wondering myself, which man will ever marry me, you know, and because I'm so short. And so, but today I've accepted my height. Yes. And I went and told her, my daughter, you are a full woman. You are a full woman. Not a quarter or a half. You are a full woman. Yes. Yes, yeah, only short, but you're a full woman, full-fledged woman. Yes, and you're marriageable material, I told her. Then another gentleman stood up and said, actually me, I'm Rwandese, but I've been pretending that I'm not Rwandese. But today now I accept myself, I'm a Rwandese. I said, yes, it's okay. Yeah, that's who you are. That's who you are. You know, so really that thing has liberated people, you know. You may be dark, you may be whatever, you may be, have weight. My wife and I were in Gulu, and we teach these things. A certain woman said, actually she wrote me a note that, by the way, these are people who are parents of street children. Parents of street children. So you can imagine real challenged people. So I taught them this thing. This lady wrote that today I'm so liberated, to the effect that today I'm so liberated because I've been hating myself, my weight, and all this. And now I was even contemplating to commit suicide, but first kill all my children because it's a single parent, as you can imagine. First kill my children and then commit suicide because I hated myself so much. So you can see, just accept it. Yeah, you may be weighted, you may be whatever it is. You have a scar. Yeah, you have a scar. I mean, accept yourself. Very, very key. Otherwise, you are going to fail in relationships. You are going to fail in marriage. Because nobody is too ugly to get married. Nobody is too whatever. Because, as we saw earlier, our VMCs, our character, our values, those are far great, those are priceless parts of us. And those are very, very important. Those are very important. And anybody can have character. Anybody can have values. And in fact, somebody with values, they are so appealing. They are so warm. I mean, you just love them. Okay? Not just this body. Not just this body. Far beyond the body. And we don't have time to talk about true love versus lust. But there it is. And then...
excuse me.
Yes.
Concerning that, one of the things that we were requesting me to talk about is actually true love versus lust. Because in the things that disturb us is intentional versus recreational relationships. Please do not overlook it.
Oh, okay. I was going to overlook it. Yeah. All right. Thank you for it. Yes. All right. Then the other bit is to be sexually pure and preserve your sexuality for Mr. Right and for Miss Right. Honey, do you want to add any more?
Have you noticed he gives me the hard ones?
That's easy.
Yeah. A lot of people mistake sexual involvement for love, and
proof of love.
Of proof, yes, and a lot of gentlemen actually ask their girlfriends to prove their love by allowing them to get sexually involved with them. But what ends up happening is that once that happens, to a lot of guys, that's a conquest. They're done. You're finished. It's like another achievement. Yeah. The mission has been accomplished. So, and he's happy to hang around for as long as he can have those favors with you. He doesn't want to hear about children, by the way. Because if you get pregnant, I have witnessed many cases where he asks, did I tell you I was looking for children? Did I tell you I wanted to have a child? So for him, he's just having a good time. And by the way, when that happens, then you are kind of crossed off the list of potential marriage partners, because he reckons if she's allowed me, maybe she has allowed others And nobody likes second-hand. Everybody wants, brand new. So the idea is save yourself. If somebody values you enough, they will want to make a commitment. And it goes either way. Because I know there are also some ladies who feel like, what is wrong with you? They challenge you. Are you a man? They want to make you prove that you're a man. You don't have to prove anything to anybody. If someone loves you enough, they will make the commitment, lifetime commitment, not just a commitment for while we are on campus. Let's see what happens for the 3 years or 4 years or 5 years while we are here. But when campus is over, I will go and do my own thing. You also continue and do your own thing. And I've also, I've often wondered, somebody even moves in, the hostel, does the cooking, does the laundry, does the cleaning. Someone just earned themselves someone to, take care of their housekeeping. And when campus is over, they're done. And I wondered, how can you sell yourself so cheap to be somebody's housekeeper through your campus years? Wash his clothes, cook his food, that kind of thing. And also for you, commit yourself financially. You're the one who pays for the hair. You're the one who buys the... Yeah, you even take the course. You're the one who does all the courseworks. Anyhow, those are foundational issues. And if you don't, if you begin to allow yourself to be used, you're selling yourself short. You are actually beginning on a shaky foundation. And it's interesting how easy it is to give yourselves to each other, but then your trust is, there's a crack in your trust, because now you're thinking, if he's sleeping with me, who else is he sleeping with? If she's allowing me to sleep with her, who else is she? Then you have trust issues. And even when you get married, you will have trust issues because you did not wait for each other. So keep yourself sexually pure. Allow yourselves to give yourself to somebody who has made a lifetime commitment. If they love you enough, they will wait, and it goes either way. If she loves you enough, she will wait for you. If he loves you enough, he will wait for you. If someone is asking you to get sexually involved before they get married, just know that if they can ask you before you are married, then they can ask anybody else that they are not married to, because you're not married to them. So it's easy. It just makes it easier for them to ask other people that they are not married to, even after you get married, if you get married.
And there are several disadvantages of premarital sex. Number one, it gives you the false impression that you are really close. You are really close, but you are not. But that's the impression it gives. Oh, we are really close, but actually you are not. Two, it blocks communication. Blocks communication, and when communication is blocked, then you really don't know the person well. You don't know the person well. So that even if you get married, you really don't know the person. Now here's the problem. Then you enter marriage, and then the true person comes out, and you realize, oh my gosh, I married yes, I didn't know this man, I didn't know this woman. Because you see, courtship is supposed to be a time to bring as close as possible the expectation and the reality. As close as possible. So, relationship time or courtship is supposed to be time to reduce that gap. So that by the time you marry, you pretty much know this person. There are very few surprises. But if you are busy with the sexual activity, and yet you imagine you are going to have all the time on earth after you're married to have sex, all the time on earth. In fact, Dr. Ruboga, who was here, he used to say that premarital sex is like stealing to yourself, from yourself. Yeah, this is yours, but you are again stealing from yourself. It's going to be yours for the rest of your life. The other thing that premarital sex does is that it kills a good relationship. Okay, a relationship was moving well, then sex enters into it, and then it keeps a bad relationship going. A relationship which should have ended will just keep going, just because of the sex bit of it. So, it's not necessary. It is possible to actually keep yourself for Mr. Right and for Miss Right. And that's a good foundation, that we are talking about to help you, As I said, and, we are counselors. We counsel married people, we counsel unmarried people. We know people's sexual lives, both married and unmarried. We know. And we can tell you with confidence this, that under the right circumstances, any man or any woman can be a good sexual partner. So that bit of it is already done. Yeah, it's good. Yeah, no need to check, no need to find out, no need to, and you have got a great man and a great woman. So now do the due diligence. It's like, sex is like the top floor. You don't start building a house and you start building the top floor. No, first the foundation, then first floor, second floor. Then that one is the last one. That's a very stable house, stable building. But you start, as you're still on the foundation, you are building the top floor. That's why you see we're having so many problems and so many challenges. Our dear stepchildren, abortion, the list is long. Single parenting. Friends, the pain. And that's why we challenge your generation to be the generation that will say enough is enough and start. Let the thing end with you. Let all this end with you. From you, start a new generation. Now, having said that, let us say a few things. Let's say a few things about between love and lust. One, lust is purely visual, just this body here. But true love looks at the total person. You don't just look at the body, but you look at the total person. But with the lust, it's just the body. Two, have you heard of the expression that love is blind? Yeah, it is actually lust which is blind. Because lust does not care, is it the right time? Are we okay? Is this proper? All I want is, no. That is lust. But true love is cognizant of the circumstances. Are we ready? Is this the right time? Are we, prepared? That is true love. Yeah, it will. Yeah. Three, lust does not care about the convictions, about the values of the other person. I want. That is lust. But true love considers, yes, is it okay with you? Is this, true love will look at, yes, the other person. And, Then lust is purely based on chemistry. Just this visual, whatever, or hormones. Yes, the hormones, hormones are working and, that's what you respond to. But true love considers more long-term values, long-term issues, long-term things, character, values, and so on. Those things which you are saying you should need to build before. Yes. So true love looks at those things. And those are the things that are long-lasting. Yeah. Next, lust starts up very, very intense, and with the time goes reduces. But true love grows. And this one is an acid taste. It's very, very clear. Lust cannot stand distance. Lust is only fueled, you're together, the semester is going on, But once, once is distance, lust goes down. Yet true love moves on. You heard she was in Boston University. I was in Nairobi. She went after I finished, or as I was finishing. Then, for 5 years, we dated 5 years. She was in the US. I'm in Nairobi. You imagine that. Yet I saw some people, and we kept it. She came back in June, and we got married August of that year. But I saw people in Nairobi. The boyfriend is leaving. Wow, the tears at the airport. Tears. 3 months later, she's with somebody else. I said, what were those tears? What were those tears? So you can just see that was just lust. Yeah, that was just lust. Because true love can handle distance and will grow deeper. Let me end with this one. Okay, last two. Lust wants sex now. Yes. Yes, if you love me, prove. That is lust. But true love waits. True love is able to wait and can be patient. True love can be patient. And then, finally, lust will end with a broken heart. But true love will lead to marriage. So, with those words, I think we can we've set the stage for the Q&A. Thank you very much, and we are happy to have been.
They deserve a bigger hand clap. Thank you very much. Now, something from my research, when I was informed that I will be the moderator for today, I did a little digging. I found out that majority of the issues at campus come from lack of respect for personal boundaries. You're a friend, but the friend is crossing the friendship. You're dating, but even the person who is dating holds no regard for your opinion concerning what he should do and not do, where his hands should stop, for lack of a better euphemism. I've also come to understand that from my little friendships and relationships and those of my friends, that true love ages like fine wine. It grows with time. So when you truly love someone, every day they do something that makes you fall in love with them the more. Yeah. But then when you are dating for fun, every day you see something as to why you should leave. Exactly. So every day is a reason as to why you should pack your bags and go. And that is something that I had overlooked. But when me and the boys were talking, we realized that, there's something here. Now, I've loved the conversation that we've had concerning foundation of the relationship. It made me realize that being single matters as much as being in a relationship. Because all of the things that they have talked about, you not work on them when you're in a relationship. Building a relationship with your creator, the VMCs, self-control, dealing with with baggage. I've had about 4 relationships so far, and what I can say is people have baggage. And when you come with baggage into the relationship, you're burdening your partner, because your partner not only has to deal with their own psychological problems, but now has to take on yours. So if you think you will deal with your childhood trauma when you get into a relationship, the only thing you will do is break someone's son or daughter. It's a perfect recipe for failure. And then they talked about the VMCs, values, morals, and character. And I believe it goes hand in hand with accepting yourself. I will call it purpose. You may accept your body, your what, but we are finishing university for those in the 21-year cohort. And even 2022 stroke you, those who are doing 3-year courses. You have to live. You don't know which job you will do. You don't know what kind of a man or a woman you will be. And then, before you even figure out what you want to do in life, you believe you can walk this journey with another person. And yet this person is supposed to be a companion. Let's say you want to be a businessman. You will get a person whom from the beginning you tell them, I'm a businessman and I need someone to be by my side as I navigate those problems. But when you're still dancing around, moving from one gig to another, one profession to another, you do not know what your values are even spiritually, the person who comes will also join the confusion. So when you know who you are, what values do you stand for, you will get a person whom will not force you to choose between your values and them. That person is there to walk with you, even if they are going to be a reverend and for you you're going to be a politician. Because you understood each other from the beginning, there will be a companion with you along the journey. Not someone whom is going to change you to also be a reverend like them. So the VMCs, that's what my input is. But something I would love to appreciate about them is the teamwork. I've seen couples, but everything that he had to say, she knew his mind and she brought it out so well. And I request we clap for that. That is not teamwork that just comes. That level of communication is built with time. And when you told me you have 40 years of experience, it is very evident they've been together for 40 years. And I guess now we can now go back to our rooms and wonder, if we were called for a talk show with our boyfriend, girlfriend, are we capable of such effective communication? And I will guess that you're laughing because it's an obvious yes. Now, with that brief preamble, I'll request for a volunteer. We're going to have a working tea. So you go get your tea, come and eat it. And don't mind those who are coming, your turn will come also. But as they are arranging themselves, we will request that you give us a few questions. Because you have experiences also. So a volunteer to move the mic. Let's have him. There's a mic at the DJ's booth. Help me get it. So please feel free to share personal experiences. It's good when you give it a nice touch. And we could learn from a thing or two.
You should tell us their name.
Because we all don't go through the same experience. Let's have a hand from this tent. Oh yes, Mr. Pasco.
Thank you so much, Mr. Langa, and everyone who has come here today. My name is Okorobe Pascal Matthew. I'm a year 4 medical student. So my question comes from an experience, not personal, but what I've observed. So you've told us about the foundation. The first one, having a relationship with the maker, having your VMCs. So this happens to be someone from my local community, a known man of God. He's a good pastor. People always go to him for help here and there. It happens that let's say 2 years down the road, after getting into the relationship, not relationship, but the marriage, it all came down in a very bad way. And according to the stories that were told, the woman he got married to was described as to be a very dangerous woman. So my question comes, where do people go wrong? You can have these values as you a person, but then seeing it in the other person, where do people go wrong? Thank you.
Thank you very much from that question. Question from this tent. There are very many ladies here. Ladies, please. Yes, there's a question there.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you, dear main celebrants, for what you shared. Okay, my question is, there is this tendency...
Your name?
Oh, my name is Nancy Arije. I'm a second-year student. There is this tendency of, especially girls, where they enter into a relationship with this mindset of, I want him to complete me. Like, you all know I'm not lying. But I have this feeling or this mindset of you have to be complete before you find someone. Like, don't bring your burden on someone to complete you. So I think it's just some kind of an enlightenment. You can also maybe add a voice. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Let's have this gentleman. We shall be picking a person from each tent for fairness.
Good evening. My name is Sebigobe Manu Sam, a second-year student offering accounting, BCom, aspiring GRC School of Business. You've spoken about how to build the VMCs and everything, but above this, you've not spoken about consistency. This is very hard. The VMC is actually hard. It looks easy, but behind it, consistency is kind of hard. And my question is, how does someone be consistent about building more values or what to do? Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. How many more questions should I take before you answer? Two more.
Yes.
Let's have the lady with glasses, Honorable Natasha.
Good evening, everyone. Natasha Ayereza is my name. Our guest talked about us starting with a change for the next generation to benefit. Apparently, there is a say that generation has changed, that the generation we are in right now is different from the generation our guest speaker is from. And we have that pressure and competition that is running right now, and also the so-called modern generation. So I want the guest speaker to tell me, because also when he was at our age like this, he had the people who were saying same words. And I don't know if he did according to their words or things changed. But right now where we are, it's different. So tell us, how do you go about this competition and the so-called change generation? Thank you.
Excuse me, please explain the competition. People are not understanding you.
The competition comes with the background. We come from very different backgrounds. But whereby in a society like Makerere we meet, we have planned kids, we have people from that humble background. Yeah. So, but we are competing for same things, same jobs, same relationship status, same careers, a lot of things. So you find like, okay, when they talk about the competition of the relationships, you find you have friends. Because when you come to such society, you meet different friends, that even if you're from a poor background, your character can make you meet people from good background. So you have to compare yourself with them to just fit in them. So that's where some of the people are doing mistakes, whereby they are sleeping with sugar daddies to get money, also to drive like their fellow. Because I mean, also people want the people who have something. I also want to sit with the people who have something, even if I don't have. So I have to pressurize myself to do something wrong to get there. So that's the competition I'm talking about.
Thank you so much. That is serious competition. We can maybe have a gentleman. Yes, the gentleman in black.
Yeah, a good evening. Welcome everybody. Raymond Talema is my name. Yeah, she said that if you are in a wrong relationship, somewhere, she used an example of an engineer who said that if you have a crack in a building, it's important if you demolish it. And the practical view of it is for every relationship that has always formed, that you find that in year 2, especially they have delivered the firstborn, there is always that thing of an inconsistency. You find that you can no longer accept or adhere to what the other couple side is saying. So at the end of the day, there is always that break. So is that break normal from what Madam said? If it happens, what is your best say on that? Thank you.
Thank you very much. Let's give them a chance to respond. People are asking about competition, generational gaps, consistency in relationships, and even before the relationships, and whether a person should be whole before they join a relationship. Those were my best questions. Maybe the guest could guide.
Okay.
Pascal, I'll start with yours. Marriage broke after a very short time, and yet these are people, or at least the man was somebody that you considered had very good VMC, and you're wondering what went wrong. The fact that you start with strong VMCs and start with a good person, whoever that may be, does not exempt you from the normal pressures of marriage and the challenges of marriage. So no matter who you are, no matter who you marry, even if both of you have dealt with your baggage properly, you will have challenges. They are just the normal pressures. And some of those pressures can be likened to the pressures we feel at home with your own siblings. Sometimes you come home, your brother has worn your shoes, and you want to punch him in the nose. Those sorts of pressures, not necessarily about shoes, but there's relationship pressures. So you are not exempted from those pressures just because you've entered a relationship with VMCs. So along with the VMC, you need other skills: communication, conflict resolution, just, normal patience, kindness, those sorts of things. So if you go in there and you think that your Mr. Right or your Miss Right was also Mr. Perfect or Miss Perfect, you're going to be disappointed. And because they are not Miss Perfect or Mr. Perfect, you're going to need to exercise patience, forgiveness, those things, because you're in it for the long haul. our relationship had a kind of not very normal courtship because we were miles apart. We wrote letters. If you can imagine a time when there was no WhatsApp, there was no email, there was no fax. We wrote letters. You guys don't know about writing letters. We hand wrote. Computers were in computer labs in the university. Not many people had, yes, not many people had these home PCs. We wrote letters. Then you seal it, you fold it, you put it in an envelope, you lick even these peel-off envelopes were not there. You know, nowadays you have envelopes where you peel something off and then you stick it. Those days you licked it. You lick the envelope, then you seal it, then you go to the post office, you buy a stamp, you lick the stamp, you stick it on, you put it in there, and then it goes, and it takes 1 week, 7 days to get there. That's the kind of thing we had. So when we finally got together in marriage, we knew we were starting at a disadvantage, and we resolved that this thing is going to work. And we were even told, oh, you people, you know, you haven't been together. Maybe you should live together first before you make a commitment. But for us, because of our VMCs, we were not going to live together first. But we realized that, you know, we started off kind of at a disadvantage because we did not have the normal courtship. So we were resolving our conflicts as they arose. Somebody warned us that, it's going to be hard for you people. So we knew the big one is coming. So these ones of being annoyed with each other, at the end of the day, we resolved them quickly because we felt when the big one comes, we have to be ready for it. So take care of these little things so that they don't interfere when the big one comes. And every day we were resolving quickly, preparing for the big one. And then lo and behold, the year ended and the big one had not come. And then we realized that actually it is these daily things which you need to resolve and have a little bit of humility and a little bit of grace. So I think that might be what went wrong. Somebody goes in there and says, I'm the man. I'm in charge. Are we both wearing who is wearing the trousers around here? And the woman also says, I am educated. I'm making my own money. I can take care of myself. When you get two of those together, that's a recipe for breakup. Anything can break you up, but you just need to determine, this is it. We have made the promise, we are in it for life. And then, you know, somebody kind of humorously said that marriage is like a jail sentence. So choose your cellmate well. It's kind of silly and a little bit funny, but I think it makes a lot of sense. Choose your cellmate well. Choose well. Because this is a person that you are going to live with for the rest of your life. And make it pleasant. That's why my husband was telling you that we still love each other. We are still dating each other. Because this is for life, guys. Who wants to have a miserable life? Who wants to have a miserable? We want to have fun. We want to be happy. So we resolve. We apologize. Sometimes, you forgive. Sometimes you eat humble pie. Even when you think the other party did wrong, you say, I am sorry. So that there can be genuine peace in the relationship and you can look at each other at the end of the day and still say, I love you.
Yeah, thank you, Hannah. Then, Nancy said something very, very important. And what she said about women is also true about men. Women want a man to complete her. Men also want a woman to complete him. And what I can say is this. Stuart mentioned something brief. He said that he realizes that a lot of these things you actually need to do when you are single. And he's very right. Meaning that a person who is going to be a good candidate for a relationship and also for marriage is a person who should be stable, well adjusted, mature, has dealt with their baggage. All that is now somebody who is ready to enter a relationship and will succeed. But if you are still nursing your own brokenness and you feel that I need a man or I need a woman, that's when I'll be okay. You have to be happy. I need a man, I need a woman. If you are that kind of person, you are not yet ready. And if you are the other person that that woman is coming to, or such a man is coming to, who really needs you, I need you, I can't do without you, that person is not ready. That person is not ready. Because no human being can fulfill you. No human being can stabilize you. That's why you need to do all those things that we told you before. You need to do your ticks. Because when you go through all those things that we gave you, you will be a stable person who is now ready to give. Not to get, but to give. You are the one now as a man, you can now give to a woman. You can really take care of that lady. You can really, watch over her and all that because you are ready to give. Not needy. I need her. Or vice versa. Also, you're a lady who is stable, you're mature, you have handled yourself, you can handle your own emotions and everything, and now you're ready to give to a man, and you can really give that man a lot because you're stable. You're coming from out of a stable situation, not a needy situation. If you're in a needy situation, you are a bad person for a relationship. And if a needy person is coming to you, a needy man or a needy woman, just run away. Yes, run away, yeah. Because,
Very fast and don't even look behind.
There you are. So that is a very important. So that means first work on yourself. Stabilize. If you are not yet, that's what you should be doing, working on now. How do I get stable? How do I handle this? How do I work out my VMCs? Those are things you should be busy now. In fact, I keep telling people, don't waste time looking for. When you're a man and you are that caliber of a man, you just enter a room and a lady who is also a wife material can see this man here. Yes. And vice versa. A man can also see this lady here. Yes. Is good material. So that's a very, very important thing. So please work on yourself. Because save yourself future heartaches, save yourself future pain, so that you can actually be able to make it in a relationship when it will start. Anna, are you ready for it? Okay, I can say something about what Natasha. Yes, the pressure, the competition. Generations are different. Yeah, we are now in a modern generation. Now, I want to say this. In every generation, yes, things are a bit different, but the principles of life remain the same. Okay? The principles of life remain the same. We too face the very same things that you people are facing. We had people from broken cities or from low backgrounds or from poor backgrounds. And then, there's the issue of whose son are you, whose daughter are you, But let me tell you this. If you can work on your VMCs, it will not matter whether you are from a rich family or a poor family. It will not matter. Yes, whether you're from Mawafisi, whether you're from Katwe, it doesn't matter. You will be able to succeed. At this point, let me just share briefly, if I can quickly do it. When I graduated from Nairobi University, I started looking for work. And every office I went to, Ugandan, sorry. And then I would meet some of my colleagues in Nairobi. Man, I don't know what to do. I've got 3 job offers. This company, I don't know what to do. And some of these people, I was doing better than them in the classroom. But now he has 3 job offers. Yeah? Me, I have nothing. Yes, I'm a Ugandan. Eh? I did an interview, and I was given the forms to fill. Nationality, I put there Ugandan. The head of the program ran to me and said, look, you change. Put here that you're Kenyan. After all, your nationality is not written in your degree certificate. You put that you're Kenyan. You've been the best of this lot. They had wanted to get 5 young, brilliant engineers, send them overseas for 2 years, and then they come back and work for the government in a certain area. I wrestled with my conscience because I started to live with VMCs in S2 while I was still in S2. I wrestled with my conscience. Should I do it? Should I not do it? I knew Ugandans who had got fake Kenyan IDs, which were available for only 30 Kenyan shillings. You could buy a fake Kenyan ID and can pose as a Kenyan and get a job. And I knew that that possibility was there. And I'm in a foreign line. I have no money. I couldn't come back because Aminu was here killing us. So I couldn't come back. Yeah, I couldn't come back. You know? So I was stuck there. I'm stuck there. No money. What do I do? And I've finished university. And here's this opportunity. After wrestling with my conscience could not allow me to do that wrong thing. I gave it up. And so I suffered some more, a couple of months. And the first job that I got, I was a casual worker. A casual worker are the caliber of people who are, slash around. You're not on permanent. Yes, clean the toilet and so on. And I was being paid with them every Friday. And were of such low caliber that were not even worthy to enter the accounts department and sign for our money. We were just given money from the window. Hey, you. Hey, nyinyi kibarua chukua pesa zenyu. And we get our little. And I'm an electrical engineer, upper second, Nairobi University. And my first job was to carry a toolbox for a technician, somebody I'm much more educated than I was. My VMCs told me, humble yourself. So I humbled myself, and I carried the toolbox, and I learned. Meanwhile, my colleagues are seated in middle management in companies and corporations, sitting behind, reading newspapers and drinking coffee and tea, while I'm here lifting toolbox. Then from there, I got slowly. After 2 years, I was sitting in front of a British engineer in an interview, and I was the last person. And he chose to take me. Why? Because he had not found an engineer who knew both theory and practice. So this lifting of, the toolbox here and there, I was actually learning great experience which my colleagues who are sitting behind this were not getting. So from 2 years, my career just took a vertical takeoff. By 5 years, I was a chief engineer. I surpassed my friends in rank, in salary, in responsibility. And then they would meet me in Nairobi. Man, for you are lucky you are taking decisions. For us, we are just still there in middle management. So my daughter who asked that question, you build your VMCs and watch where they are going to take you. I was in a foreign land. I had no godfather, I have no godmother, I have nobody pleading for me, but your VMCs will plead for you and will get you somewhere, even if you're from a humble background.
Sam asked about VMC and how to build consistency. And I'd like to say that anything that is of any worth is always an uphill task. It doesn't come easy. You have to go against the tide to get those things that are of value. So how do you build consistency? Keep doing it. Keep making the right choices, even though everybody else around you is making contrary choices. Be around like-minded people because you will encourage each other. Iron sharpens iron. And just make that decision that this is something that is worthwhile. This is something that is going to pay off, not just immediately, but also in the long term. And then you will be able to do it. So Sam, don't give up. Yes, indeed, it is hard. But it was also hard to get to Makerere University. And here you are. So when you are determined, when you want something badly enough, you do what you need to do to get it, and find yourself people who are like-minded so that you can encourage each other along the way.
Thank you very much. I think as they prepare to reply to that question on paper, I'll comment about something. In our conversation today, I'm a dedicated San Franciscan. Our Reverend usually tells us, if God was not in the relationship from the beginning, don't expect him to come in the middle to save it. Now that is something that relates to his question about this reverend or spiritual leader that failed in the marriage. Sometimes you look at a person and you say, this is the one for me. Then you plan and everything, and in the middle it doesn't work out. Then you go to the church and tell them, please help me. The woman I'm supposed to marry is leaving. Then they ask you about basic principles and do not understand. That is because you chose to use your own understanding. So it is not a popular topic, but Christian values must be upheld when you're selecting a partner. If they are disregarded, it's also another formula for failure. And the reason why people prefer Christian values is because these are people who are given a better chance to deal with life. They have a support system around them, and naturally most Christians are loving people. Something I've understood about relationships with time is that you can't love someone when you don't love yourself. You give what you have. When you're dealing with baggage, you're depressed and then you get into a relationship, that is what you'll give to your partner. But then someone who has been properly groomed in a Christian home and has upheld those values at campus, it's not a must, but has a higher chance of giving you a good experience. And lastly, don't stress about finding a partner. When the right time comes, God will give you the partner. Just work on yourself in the meantime. When the time is right, the partner will come. Because I'm seeing there's a big rush. How do I do the VMCs, then I get the person? You may do the VMCs, then God tells you first wait, practice them. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Before Beatrice reads the next question, I just want to add to what Stuart has said. He's very, very right. Actually, here's the issue. It is said the key to being a better spouse is be a more godly person. The key to being a better parent is to be a more godly person. And the key to being a better person is to be a more godly person. person. Why is godliness important? Godliness is important because it builds within you those fruits of godliness, such as patience, love, joy, what?
Kindness,
Kindness,
love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness. Yeah, that's patience.
Exactly. Who doesn't want to have a wife like that? Who doesn't have to have a husband like that? Who doesn't want to have a president like that? Who doesn't want to have a vice chancellor like that? Who doesn't want to have a principal like that? Who doesn't want to have a worker like that? Who doesn't want to have a border person like that? We all need. So, godliness builds those qualities in you. And after it builds them in you, then you're a very good person. You're a very good candidate. I did my school A level, O and A level in King's College, Budu. My class, those days to do engineering, you needed to do double mathematics and physics. So in my class, there were 23 of us. I went to Nairobi University. There's a colleague of mine from that class. For him, he went to England, and he did something on medical equipment as an engineer, medical equipment. Now, by the time we left King's College Budo, I had already begun to leave my VMC. I told you I started S2, in S2. And that's why by now, when I'm facing the real world, you saw how I went about it. This guy, for him, wasn't living by VMCs, but he went to England. And he said he went to bookshops and wanted to have a good marriage. So he started reading about marriages. To his shock, all the books that he found on marriage, on relationship, good relationships and so on, were Christian books. And was shocked. What is this? And I don't know whether it's one of the things, but anyway, he now also later, began to live by VMCs. So VMCs are very, very key. You want to go for the long haul, you build it. I can assure you, you will enjoy your marriage. Hannah, yeah.
There's a question here with no name. Hello, thanks for the advice and speech. My question is, any advice for someone, for example, a finalist who feels like they are not yet ready to be adults and are having thoughts like whether their parents' investment in them in terms of tuition was worth it?
I think what I can say is this. We all grow at different rates. Just like our fingerprints are different. No two people have the same fingerprints in this world. Everybody is unique. Similarly, we grow in a unique manner. And we grow in several areas. We grow physically, and that one is easy to see. We also grow emotionally. Then we grow mentally. We also grow spiritually, but also we grow in our sexuality. So you may be ending campus and you feel that you are not yet mature. That is okay. That is okay. Because each of us has our own internal clock. We have an internal clock where we mature. That's why not every child speaks at the same time, or crawls at the same time, or walks at the same time. No. Each one is their own time. So if you feel that you're not yet mature at this point, don't worry. Don't try to fake it, and don't try to be what you are not. Yeah, remember we told you to accept yourself. Maybe for you, your spiritual, your maturity is coming at a slower pace. It's okay. Accept who you are. accept who you are. And don't worry about the pressure that you're getting from your parents. Now, if I was talking to parents, I would talk to them and I would tell them that allow your child to grow. I would actually tell them to not to pressurize you. Yes, because that's what I do because we talk to parents as well. But as for you, you know yourself, you know where you are, you go at your pace. Don't worry about what your parents will say, what they will do. You don't worry. You just follow your internal clock. That's what I would say. That's what I would encourage you. Yeah.
Thank you very much. So we are going to have 3 more questions. Those who have questions, guys, the conversation is really interesting. But we'll have a lady here. There's a gentleman in the corner there. We hadn't had a question from the corner there. And then we'll have, okay, the lady there. So those 3 questions, and we're supposed to be out of here in 15 minutes. No, the lady with, yeah, that one.
Good evening. Thank you so much for the advice, the guidance, and everything. Yeah, mine is not...
Your name?
Oh, sorry. I'm Simile Doris. I'm a year 2 student doing Bachelor of Arts with Education, Literature, and English. For mine is not a question, but I've felt compelled to tell this so as maybe it can help someone in accordance to Natasha's say.
Briefly.
Yeah. Yeah, it's about accepting who you are and having principles that guide your life. Fine, the world has become funny and it has a lot of winds, but if you know that I have to maybe finish campus and get married when I'm pure, you can surely make it no matter how you are. And I've got to go along with it, having known that maybe I do not have enough, but I know how best I can go through it and survive without spoiling myself, following the pressure of others. And it's about starting something maybe to help you. And I started a share business and included it, and I can provide upkeep for myself. I can buy clothes for myself. I can pay for handouts for myself, and maybe sometimes even help others who are hungry or thirsty. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Let's move this side.
Thank you very much. My name is Helena Nwasima, GRC School of Languages, Literature and Communication, and I'm in my 4th year doing journalism and communication, majoring in communication. My question, I think it goes back to the lady. I'm sorry I didn't grasp your name. I came a little bit late. But then there is something that has quite been challenging me as a lady who is growing up and as a future mother. I don't know whether I'm inspired by social media, by these feminists and people who claim they know much about relationships, and then also live examples, seeing fights between your parents or maybe the people that you stay with. They tend to tell us that the lady, you're not supposed to say things of your family to your spouse or maybe your boyfriend, because one day, one time, you know, these men are very strange creatures, is going to use it. Okay, I withdraw the statement. I'm sorry. They say that if you happen to say, oh, my dad was fighting, or maybe we have this at home, one day, one time, the man is going to use them against you. One day, one time, is going to use them again and be like, your family is always in quarrels. That's why even my children are quarrelsome. maybe this and this. That's why this is happening. But then to me, I think that if you're my boyfriend or maybe my husband, there is that transparency and openness I really want us to have. There is that communication that I really want us to have because we are one. So I don't know at what level should us as ladies be open to men, or maybe should men be open to their ladies. I don't know, but I don't think a lady can use bad side to actually against you. I don't think that can be done. I just want clarity. How can we actually clear out this, or at what level of openness should we be in a relationship? Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Let's go to the corner there. There's a gentleman in a khaki suit. Yes, that one.
Good evening. My name is Mayanja Owen, School of Law, Year 2, aspiring debate union representative from that side. So I want to thank our moderators and the presenters for the presentation. It was wonderful. So personally, I have 2 questions, but I'll try to incorporate them into one. I don't know whether it is a coincidence, but today as I was coming, I always have conversations with the border men. The conversation we were having today was basically around these young relationships. From what he was sharing, he sounded so sure that most people who get together at campus and try to involve themselves in this kind of relationships, they never sustain. His kind of argument was women always grow older faster than the boys. So when this happens, the kind of understanding becomes complicated. And in that particular note, the men will start seeing things differently as the women, and always relationships get very difficult. So to generalize the whole question, it's all about what is actually the right time. All right? Is it an overstretched kind of argument to say that these young relationships at university cannot grow? And if so, why is that? Is it a kind of principle in that particular regard? Then the second question, I'll probably try to incorporate it with what was being asked with issues of growth. Personally, I believe, yes, much as we grow at our own pace at times, life always sets standards, which we have to live up to. So I believe that, yes, we could choose to grow at our own pace sometimes, but usually you need to look around and see what am I supposed to be doing at what particular kind of age. From this kind of self-reflection and actualization kind of assessment, you'll know what to move forward. I feel the whole growing at your own pace is a sort of comfort zone that will make you miss out on so many things. With that, thank you very much.
And maybe to add, what is the right age gap between the spouses? We will start with that.
Okay. Now, there's no right age per se. It is whether you are mature emotional. Emotional maturity is what counts in a relationship, not the physical age of a person. So, you may be 30, but you're still immature. So it is the maturity that counts. Now, having said that, it is true that generally, psychologically, women mature faster than men. I mean, a young lady of 20 years is pretty serious about life, yet a young man of 20 years is still just gambling, Yeah, it's still kind of gambling, yeah. So, there is that imbalance, yeah. So normally, under normal circumstances, you find that one is older. I'm almost 5-point-something years older than my dear wife here. But having said that, it doesn't mean that campus relationship cannot work. But if they start without putting into consideration the things that we said here before, then inevitably they are going to fail. They are going to fail. And so what I can say is that, yeah, you just need to do your due diligence, and when it's the right time, you can actually get involved. But age, and like somebody said when we were young, like you, somebody told us that age is just a number. Yeah, it's just a number. If two people are serious and they really want to relate, they can have a good relationship. We know couples where the lady is older than the man, and they've had a successful marriage. So really it depends on the two of you. Once you agree and you love each other and you're okay with each other, it's possible to actually make it. Yeah.
Helena, you addressed your question to me. Challenges that you hear from people around you, maybe issues to do with things that happened in your family which you don't feel should be shared with a man because they can be used against you later. Anything can actually be used in a relationship against the other person. However, we mentioned, Steve mentioned when he was talking that in a relationship you need two people who are complete, essentially, to begin to relate with each other. So one complete person with one complete person. No masks, no, pretense, no walls. And when you have two people like that, then you build intimacy. The minute one of you feels like, this deep, dark secret from my family I cannot divulge, then there's already, you're being very careful. Anytime you're around that topic, you are guarded because there's that deep, dark secret which she must never know, or she must never know, because she's going to use it against you, or she might use it against you. And the fact of the matter is, as you grow in a relationship, as you communicate with each other, you actually are supposed to grow closer to each other. And because of that, the relationship gets riskier and riskier in terms of what somebody can use against you. In order for you to become intimate, you must be totally transparent. The more transparent you are with each other, the more intimate you are. No secrets, no hidden agendas. I am what you see. Everything that I am, you know, and everything that you are, I know. So there's that risk element, but without that risk element, the intimacy is threatened. So I guess you do your due diligence to ensure that the person that you're getting involved with is somebody that you feel secure enough with. And little by little, in that process of courtship, you open more and more of yourself to each other so that you grow more intimate. Between me and my husband now, really, there's little, if anything, that we don't know about each other. And the risk is there. If I wanted, I could ruin him. I could tell you things about him that would raise, no, there are no hair-raising tales about him. But anyway, the point I'm trying to make is that we are at that place where he could use information that he has about me to ruin me. And I could do the same. But that's what makes us close, because there's nothing hidden between us. At any given point, he knows what I will say, and I know what he will say. In fact, on a couple of instances, we have been interviewed by people who want to put something in the newspapers, and they do it separately. They ask Steve, what one thing would you ascribe to the success of your relationship? How have you lasted 40 years? And he will tell them something. And I don't even know that this interview is taking place. And this same person will come to me, and I don't know that she has already asked Steve, and will ask me the same question, and we will give the same answer. So you need to be able to take that risk, to feel secure enough, and even if you don't feel that secure, to take the risk so that you can build the maturity Otherwise, if you're feeling like, that one, in my village, in my family, we eat people, that one I can't, then it will block the intimacy. So you bear yourself, and that's how you become intimate.
Thank you very much. I would request that as we sum it all up, let's give them a hand clap. I believe the recommendation from Auntie Lona, Chairperson University Council, was a really good one, and it has yielded fruit. I'm not seeing Mr. Elon Katweheyo. Maybe as he comes, I can share from my personal experience. People who are insecure trigger insecurities in their partners because there's emotional intimacy, spiritual intimacy, and physical intimacy. For emotional intimacy to take place, you must all be complete. If you have an insecure partner, they will trigger your insecurities, it will become toxic and can even become physical at some point. So be careful who you relate with. Toxic relationships don't just come, they are made. Yeah. We have reached the end of our discussion. As you can see, my other boss is here. But there's this person who had a very urgent question. So I will give it to our guests. And please, when we are done, we're going to have a networking session. Approach them personally. For now, I will request that we have a vote of thanks from the ELP task force. And then we can go for our networking session after a closing prayer. Mr. Elon.
All right. Permit me stand. Let's appreciate Right Honorable Stuart, whose term ended, our former Guild Speaker, the 90th Guild Speaker of the Makerere University. Could we have, could we reduce the murmuring? Hello? Hello? Thank you very much, gallant Makereans. I'd like to first and foremost thank for this evening, for bringing us together on this choto. And please join me to appreciate our guest speakers. Thank you very much, Uncle Steve and Auntie Beatrice. These are my parents. Together, they have wonderful children who we went to school with at the same time at King's College, Budo. And they are great friends to my parents. So it's a joy connecting together at this point. And in terms of ministry, in terms of service and work, we are working together as Life Ministry Uganda and Family Life Network in many ways. So it's a great joy connecting here at the Emerging Leaders Program, Intergenerational Dialogue, aka Choto. My name is Elon Katweheyo, and I serve on the Emerging Leaders Program Task Force. And I serve with Life Ministry Uganda. I'm part of the National Leadership Team. I lead one of the departments called Leader Strategies. And there are some staff of Life Ministry here, staff and associates. Please stand wherever you are, and we acknowledge you. Staff and associates, yes, right here. These are not university students. There's another one at the back. Okay, that is Habakkuk Abaho, Geoffrey Oken. Geoffrey Oken, please wave. Rose Kashamire and Jonathan Yeroto. Please have your seats. Thank you. Let me request also, let me also acknowledge my colleague who we co-chair the Emerging Leaders Program Secretariat, Mr. Awel Uwihanganye. Please appreciate Dr. Awel. Mr. Awel. He's doctor, professor many times. And members of the secretariat present, please stand up. Secretariat task force, please stand, please stand. Awel, where is Julian? Julian, please step up. Please step forward. Julian, please step forward. Emojong is here. Yes, please clap for these guys. Julian, you come. Let's clap for these guys, especially Julian, Emojong, Stuart, who have worked tirelessly to put this together. Yeah, I'm certain that if you haven't been reached by Emojong, Julian reached you, or Stuart, or one of, actually there are a number of key mobilizers present. We appreciate each and every one of you. So let's clap for the entire team. I'll say a few things. I'd written down some things, but let me put that away and speak from my heart. I won't take long. The matters that we've been discussing are very pertinent matters, especially in this generation. I must say that we are at a crossroad. Think about that roundabout, the road to Stone, the road down, the road up, and the road this side. We're actually standing at the crossroad, a generational crossroad. That we, you and I, must arise to the occasion. We must rise up. We must stand up. We must stand out. We must be outstanding. Because if not you, then who? If not now, then when? Think about the thousands of university students. Let me narrow it down to Makerere University. And it is just you that have listened to this priceless wisdom this evening. So again, permit me appreciate Uncle Steve and Auntie Beatrice. Thank you for making the time to be here to pour into this generation. And I must say that we are not the future leaders, we are the current leaders of Uganda. We know the population, I don't want to get there, but we know that 73% is below 30, and right here is the majority of the population. So please touch your neighbor and say, if not you, then who? Then who? Tell them that if not now, then when? All right. Please don't add on to what I have said. I just said, if not now, then when? I didn't add on. So don't tell your neighbor what I didn't say. Please don't dilute the message. Let me close with this. Having thanked each and every one of us, we thank the media team. We thank Jesh for the refreshments. Let's clap for our service providers. We have Moses, DVI, and the team. Thank you very much, Obugaro. And of course, Makerere University, CTF2. By the way, to be here, there is a cost to it. Because after you have gone, some people have to clean. Let me close with this. Many times it feels like there's no hope. Many times it feels like there's no person that is standing. It feels like everything is gone. Everything is lost. Hello? Everything is messed up. You turn left, you just see maybe corruption, immorality, and mention. You turn right, same. Forward, back, everything feels like it's hopeless. But I want to say that there is a remnant. There are people who are actually standing. And you can be one of those people. It's not in your power, it's not in your might. Definitely you need God's help to stand. But I want to say that before you this evening is someone who has the testimony that in 2003, Uncle Steve and Auntie Beatrice came to school, and I signed a yellow card of True Love Waits. And fast forward in 2016, 9th of July, I wedded the girl I love, who is my wife and the mother of our children. And that night was the first time I had sex. That I was a virgin when I wedded. Heaven is the witness, God is my witness, and the earth is also my witness. I want to tell someone this evening that it is possible. Say with me that it is possible. If you have been sleeping around, some of you had a plan for tonight. Cancel that plan. In Jesus' name. Yeah? Cancel that plan. And by the way, now I can do it guilt-free. Hallelujah. I am not ashamed to say that. That now I can do it guilt-free. I can do it as many times in a day as I want and as she wants. It is possible. It is possible. And please listen. I say that's the last thing I'm sharing. It starts with you. It starts with me. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. God bless you.
A big round of applause for Mr. Elon. For all of those people who are practicing celibacy, you are the champions of our generation. And I am requesting that someone should give us a prayer, bless our journeys, and we'll see what to do. But in the meantime, I've gotten information that we have a full recording of today's session, courtesy of Infinity TV. So, those whom need... Yes, you can clap for him. He was identified by the Innovation Hub of Makerere as one of the few students in Uganda with their own TV. And he has requested that if any of you wants a recording of this talk, you can approach him. And I know how much the Emerging Leaders Program keeps records of these things. I think we shall also get a copy from him and have it at our offices. So, for now, I will give to him. Maybe he can also call for a volunteer for the prayer, because it's what we are waiting for.
Okay. I didn't mean to come back, but let me request Mr. Owl to come. Please come. And also Julian, please come. So I'd like to say thank you to Engineer Stephen, Uncle Steve, and Auntie Beatrice, the Langas. And we have a small token from the Emerging Leaders Program to you. And we'll hand it over. Let Julian say the closing prayer.
This was abrupt, but it's okay. Thank you for coming. We are privileged to have you here. My name is Julian Kanyesije. I have two people supporting me behind. I am the ELP administrator, and it's a pleasure having you Emerging Leaders Program, because this is what our generation, the more we face it, talk about it, maybe we can do something better to generation. In that spirit, let's humble ourselves for a prayer. Mighty Father, we thank you for the gift of life. We thank you for how far you have brought us. We thank you for the brains behind the Emerging Leaders Program. We thank you for we are seeing people having the hope, the passion, the zeal to save a generation. We ask you for your wisdom, for your guidance, and we ask you that may you show us the way, may you lead us into the way, so that the message does not stop with us, but it's taken up even to generations to come. We thank you for today and for having a successful event, and we pray that you may lead us back to our destinations, give us safe journeys back home. In Jesus' name I pray and believe. Amen.
Stuart?